We can welcome His Excellency with a clap. Come, Jules.
That day marked the beginning of a new constitutional ordinances made in our Supreme Law and to reflect on what it means for us and
The 1963 Constitution was amended 30 times. That means roughly once every 2 years, including the infamous Section 2A. On the other hand, the 2010 Constitution has had 14 constitutional amendment attempts. Mark my word here, attempts. Via parliamentary initiatives, those were 10, and 4 via the popular initiative route. Of course, the majority of the parliamentary attempts were to solve the issue of realizing the 2/3 gender rule in Parliament. Let me just take a minute to reflect on the 4 popular initiatives. The Speaker has partly touched on them. 1, the Building Bridges Initiative via the Constitution of Kenya Amendment Bill of 2020, which contained some 74 proposed changes. Then came the Okoa Kenya initiative, spearheaded by the CORD coalition around 2015, which sought electoral reforms, changes to the structure of the IEBC, and increasing funding to counties under Article 203. Third, there was the Okoa Uchumi initiative in 2016, led by a civil society coalition aimed at physical reforms by amending provisions on public finance management. Lastly, there was the Punguza Muzigo Bill of 2019, sponsored by Ukuru Akot and the Third Way Alliance, which proposed far-reaching changes, including reducing the number of members of parliament, abolishing nominated seats, strengthening county governments, and altering the presidential term limits. Having looked at those, let me also pose a few rhetorical questions. Is it impossible to amend the 2010 Constitution? Or did the attempts not meet the constitutional threshold to amend? Or is it the Constitution resisting amendments for want of procedure? Finally, does it also mean that this Constitution does not pander to political fiat? 15 years down the line, in this spirit of vigilance, we must firmly oppose any amendments that undermine the basic foundations of constitutionalism, particularly those that erode the sacred principle of separation of powers. The 3 arms of government, the executive, the judiciary, and the legislature, are independent, yet profoundly interdependent.
prayers. Father Karanja, Pega.
Prayer is heavy, and your guide points higher than the summit of Mount Kenya at 5,100. Each step carries a weight of exhaustion. Stretch yourself. It was a moment that defined our country. We is simply a blessing for the climb ahead. And when we reached the summit, we celebrated pride, joy, and
President, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, our hope is they are born after the promulgation of the Katiba. Constitutions are ideas and
challenges while holding fast to its foundational principles. Governance. As the Attorney General, my office is due. Our Constitution is a living covenant. It restrains funds and independent officers, the Honorable the Chief Justice.
Your Excellency, this Constitution has also been tested and proven to be built to create strong institutions. All of us will remember when on 1st September 2017, the Supreme Court surprised all and sundry when they annulled a presidential election. The executive then respected the court ruling, and the country went back to a repeat presidential election, the first such action on the African continent. That moment showed that Kenya, through the 2010 Constitution, had grown into a mature democracy. Your Excellency, as we celebrate the strides of the 2010 Constitution, let us be clear, the Constitution is not an end in itself, and this has been said by previous speakers. The one thing that we need to resolve is the need to look at the cost of implementation of the Constitution. We, from the Department of Parliamentary Affairs, have audited the legislative agenda of the government for the next 5 years since we came in under your leadership, Your Excellency. And the costing indicates that if we were to follow the normal route that we are taking today, it will cost us about 18 billion Kenya shillings to just deal with legislation, drafting of policies, and working towards that. And this is something that has been brought out, costed by the individual departments. Now, we must look at it in the context of the impact on the taxpayer. Is there value for money if we use 20 billion shillings on policy documents, or should we provide medicine in our hospitals and build bridges? This is a fundamental question that Kenyans ought to reflect on, and hence the importance of the public participation bill. We cannot have multiple layers of public participation on the same issue, from the executive to the parliament, to the county governments, to the technocrats, multiple layers on the same issue. That, in my view, is robbing the Kenyans. We need to look at it carefully. Finally, Your Excellency, let me end by once again saluting Kenyans for the 2010 Constitution and really reiterating that this is a foundation of our legacy as a stable democracy, and through a stable constitution, stable democracy, we shall attract more investment and create better opportunities for our Kenyan people.
We can welcome His Excellency with a clap. Tunes.
Era. That day marked the beginning of a new constitutional ordinances made in our Supreme Law and reflect on what it means for us and